what's going on? It's your boy Brendan Bird. Just getting with you guys. Currently right now I'm kind of on the road, so pretty much can't really get into what I want to get into. But I definitely want to jump into continue with this conversation about African or black people, or mixed people, black people with actually mixed involvement in slavery. Definitely want to touch on the blue blood. Now, there's a ruling class of European that was mixed with African and basically non-white DNA that actually ruled Europe. They actually ruled Europe. They ruled Europe for almost damn near 300 years. From 1500s to like the late 1700s. Now, the status of the Creoles, and this is what a lot of people want to know, like why Creoles got a certain different type of style. Well, when you had these people coming over, they were like called Dutch African, but they were blue blood. They were basically the descendants of the ancient Nubians and Persians that came to Europe from the Romans, and they came to the area where there's present-day Germany to Europe around 50 BC, and they were basically there to fight the Germanic tribes, or basically the German tribes, fight them, so to keep them kind of like almost a flanker to keep them away from the empire. Well, after the fall of the Roman Empire and them kind of like integrated into society, they became what, and a lot of elites in Europe reference them as blue blood, because they basically was in very high aristocrats or monarch position. Basically, they ruled Europe. And from that involvement of them ruling in Europe, they also was a broker and one of the facilitators of the slave trade. When they came and brought slaves, they literally brought slaves to the Americas. Reaching some parts of Louisiana, some parts of Virginia, and they basically their descendants, or I would say Creole, they picked up the tradition of European favoritism because they did not want to be re-enslaved. They didn't want to be mistreated or actually get re-enslaved. So that's where the notion of the Creoles and the way the Creoles culture is during that time. Now present day, a lot of Creoles will be claimed black, and they'll tell you, I'm black. There's nothing to it. But the Creoles 200, 300 years ago, especially about 100 to about 200 years ago, that's pretty much what they were stating. That's basically what they were stating. So it was very lucrative. I mean, the slave trade was very lucrative. I know they got a lot of different numbers. Some people say 8 million was involved. They said, but a lot of people say almost 28 million was involved. But like I said, I did some research on the actual slave population, and it was over damn near 50 million. So just to let you know how deep slavery is. You forgot too. There was a lot of there was a lot of black people and a lot of mixed African black people that had a hand in slavery, and that have to be addressed. You know, there's a few people that don't know about the blue bloods, and some that do. A lot of people, especially in the black community, they try to dismiss it, but it's true. You know what I'm saying? It's in a book, it's a German memoir. I might one day, I'm gonna bring out the book. But there's a book, and there was also a few articles on it. But I think also the RT also did an article on it. But there was another article on it. I'll get the article soon. But you know, like I said, the Blue Bloods history, they've been black people dealing with slavery and colonization for a very long time. Like I said, there are ruling families, and you're in England that have more. Spain and the Portuguese, they come from a mulatto origin as well. You have France that also had lineage in Moors and African ancestry. Germany even had Moors and ancestry. And they also have Huns. And when you think of the Germans, a lot of people don't know German is a very interesting group. They're very mixed. And they're very, because you're dealing with a group of Europeans that have traces of black, black blood, Asian blood from the Huns. Because you forgot, the Huns conquered the Germans. They actually was ruling them under the Huns Empire. They actually, if it wasn't for the Huns taking them over, as the German or the Goths, or we would say, they would never successfully took down the Roman Empire. Even though the Roman Empire was almost on its last leg, the Germans didn't have the military capacity to actually lead successful campaigns or successful raids. That was basically taught by the Huns, because they held very successful campaigns against the Roman Empire. So that was kind of like the note to be taken. But yeah, like I said, there was always a black president, even in the Roman Empire. They had a few black Roman emperors, but the Blue Bloods and their involvement in the slave trade is very, very detrimental, but it's very unheard and very talked about. And I think that people need to know about this, because a lot of people don't know that a lot of these there was a lot of black involvement in the slave trade and slavery in a general sense. I know I told a little bit about it in the last video, but I want to really break it down. You had Queen Charlotte, you had Louis XIII, you had the monarchs of Portugal and Spain, Ferdinand and Isabella. They come from Moorish backgrounds. There was even a German, I think, Van Clark. I think he was also had ancestry of Nubian or Moorish background. So you had a lot of different monarchs that was ruling Europe that would pretty much have black African ancestry. So it's definitely it needed to be addressed. Like I said, their reign pretty much ended almost at the turn of the 1800s. So basically, that's when all the monarchs were pretty much killed off or forced to secede or with exile. But you still, like I said, you still had influence of the Blue Bloods in Europe. They actually, even their influence was so mass that they even had some parts of ruling in the United States. They ruled in America, Canada, Mexico. A lot of these crowns that these colonies in the Western Hemisphere, in Americas and the Caribbean, they were basically run by a blue blood royal dynasty in Europe. So this is, and they were definitely one of the main facilitators of boosting the slave trade to over 50 million slaves transported throughout not just the United States, but throughout South America, the Caribbean, Central America. So it was a major deal. And you had a lot of collaborators from North Africa with the Arabics, where a lot of slave traders in the West African coast to even Central Africa, like Zanzibar was a mega huge slave center. Same way with Congo. So it was a lot of dealings going on that a lot of Black Americans, descendants of slaves, and other descendants of slaves throughout the Western Hemisphere, we gotta discuss this, because you having people coming over here, and they kind of know what they did. They know what their lineage was a part of, but they're not saying nothing about it. But they're not recognizing our struggle in the same way. But they want us to fight their struggle. This is a two-way street. So, but I definitely want to shed a light with the Blue Bloods and tell you a little bit more about the Blue Bloods. The Blue Bloods were very powerful, mixed African ancestry people in Europe that basically ruled and basically made a lot of profit off the slave trade while ruling the colonies of the Americas, or the Western Hemisphere, and Europe. And their ruling expanded to 300 years. So there's a lot of people do not know about that. So I would definitely want to drop a video and let you guys know about that. And I'm gonna definitely get you guys back with another one. Alright? One.